This is Passionate Bliss telling you about my walk through the Love Island streets for today. It was family day. Families come out to love and support their children, to let them know what people like or don't like about them, um, help them get stronger foothold in the final votes, probably. So the parents came to give a little insight, to ask a few questions, and honorable mention. Let's see, Trinity and Bryce, really cute. I'm gonna go ahead and pretend like I'm fully buying that Trinity and Bryce like each other. I'm just gonna make believe. Her mama said that she knew that Trinity liked him for real when she started crying because we don't cry about no men. I have a tendency to want to believe her mama. Um, so I feel like Trinity may have actually fallen for Bryce. I'm not convinced by Bryce's mama that he really liked Trinity. If you like it, I love it. I'm gonna pretend like I believe it, and I'm gonna go with it. But I still ain't voting for Trinity and Bryce because as long as Anaya is still standing, Anaya will get my vote. Anaya's mama came to hug her and to tell her to stop all that crying. Girl, you know we don't cry like that for no man. What's going on? And she said it's because I'm in here, which I said I thought that that was the reason why Anaya was acting the way she was acting when she started out making a bunch of good decisions. So I think it's the environment, but the mama said, okay, that must be what it is. Well, quit the crying because you're making me mad for real. Um, the mother also wanted to know why she didn't pick Carl when clearly you knew that Carl was your type and you really wanted him. So why didn't I want to know why you actually didn't pick him? And she said that it was because of the time. And she said, okay, the mama was willing to buy that. However, I don't, and I will address that in a second. Also, the mother wanted to tell her no that you need to quit lying to her because that's what people mad at you about for real. The ones that make sense. Those people are upset with you for not telling your friend the truth, and you're doing her a disservice. And so, now back to what I said about her saying that the reason she chose him. It was in this moment that I began to believe that that is not the real reason that she picked him, because her mama knows what Anaya's decision making processes are like when she's in a relationship, and she was clearly confused for real as to why she would not pick a man that's more like her the way Carl is instead of going with somebody who's completely foreign to you like a KC. Her mom was really wanting to know that. And she said, well, because of the time that we put in, and she was willing to buy that. But she let it go, but she didn't believe it. And it was in that moment that I went back to Casey and Anaya's interactions and her speech at the fire pit, the way she said that I picked you, and I told you in our conversations that I would always pick you. And I believe that what Anaya also didn't say is that you told me that you were always going to pick me too. I think Anaya and Casey had a pact to always pick each other to win this money. Because I don't doubt for one second Casey was initially saying, oh, we got the best couple in here. And he was giggling about it with her. And just like he went to Casa and told that one dark skinned girl, let's get this money, I believe he said that to Titi. I believe he said it to Anaya. I believe that him and Anaya had a pact to always pick each other, just like Melanie and Sincere had a pact to always pick each other. I believe that Trinity and Bryce had a pact to always pick each other. And I believe that Kata and Zach had a pact to always pick each other. I think the only reason Bryce was pulling Kata is because he knew Kata was going to turn him down every time. That's the only person he pulled was Kata. I don't think he liked Kata like that. He liked her, but she wasn't into him, and she was with his best friend. He wasn't trying to pull her from him. So I believe these couples also made a pact that they were going to pick each other no matter what to try to stay together the longest because they think that's the key to success. And that they made a pact to pick each other because that's the only thing she said to him. You didn't pick me. You didn't pick me. You were supposed to pick me and you didn't pick me. She had a pact, and he did look down. When she said that, he looked down and he looked embarrassed and ashamed when she said that at the fire pit. Go back and look at it. She said, you didn't pick me. I think that she was honoring the pact that she made with him, even though she didn't like him like that. Even though Carl came in there and was everything she ever wanted, she was honoring the pact that she made with him that she was always going to pick him. And like a black man will show you every time that they will step on your neck and never put them first because they will do you dirty first chance they get. However, over time, as a part of the pact, he didn't count on her not letting him rub up on her no more and not and telling him to stop grinning when I'm talking to you. And I think that he grew to resent her because she was never behind the door. He came to hate her, And he didn't want to stay in this pack no more because he ain't getting nothing he want. Everybody screwing all over the place in the room around him, and he ain't getting nothing he want. And so he abandoned the pack when he got over there with TT, and he wanted to humiliate her and embarrass her for everything that made him feel insecure about her. So I believe that that's what that's about. And even when she said, Casey, you owe me, when she came to look for those glasses, she said, you owe me. And I think that's why he owed her, because he abandoned the pact. And I think that's what she's really upset about with him more than anything else, is that she made a fool of herself, got embarrassed and humiliated because he abandoned the pact. And I believe that. I'm actually convinced of that. Although I have zero evidence. Okay. But anyway, also honorable mention was Casey's sister and his mother. They ain't checking for TT. They're not. They're not. But they're not going to come there and say that because he's trying to win money. He ain't got no shot in hell of winning the money, but they think he might. So they don't like TT. They're not checking for her at all. The only thing the mother said she liked about TT was that she had his back. When he was under attack, she had his back. That's the only thing the mom said about her. The sister said, I like that she's bringing out your funny side. You back to your normal self. You acting goofy again. You playing like you normally play. But what she was also saying, because I showed it, like whoever that was in Casa. And I also didn't like the way Anaya was stifling his personality. And she was, because they were a bad fit. Nobody's saying they were never a bad fit. Nobody's saying that he shouldn't have replaced her. But I think Anaya was upset because she made a pact not to replace him when she could have and she wanted to. And she didn't. But Casey's not an honorable man, so he didn't do it. He didn't keep the pact. And he replaced her. And put her at risk. And because he secretly hated her and she didn't know that. And the sister was saying that she didn't like whoever that was, and he was in Casa, and she didn't like him with Anaya, but she liked her because TT will laugh at him at somebody else's pain. TT will laugh at him when he calls Melanie a dumbass for checking to see what Sincere is doing. So she brings out that personality in him because she's just like him. They're negative, nasty people. And so the sister was saying that she was just happy to see him laughing and playing and having fun again in his couple. Kata, her sister, do not like Zach. She don't think he's funny. She don't think he's cute. She not gonna say that till he get off the TV. Zach's sister tried to hand him an excuse and say, I think you do love her. You're just scared. If Zach was smart, he would have picked up on that and pretended like, oh yeah, that's what it is, or that could be the possibility. I haven't thought about that. But Zach wasn't smart enough. No, I don't love her. I don't like her. I don't love her. He like her about as much as he gonna like a woman. So Zach wasn't smart enough to pick that up from his sister. Charlie was happy to be back in the villa again. I wonder if Charlie might not have had a favorite one of their producers the way they keep bringing them back. Kenzie, I don't care about her. I think they're gearing her up to take that 4th spot from Kata and Zach. Because if after all of their designs, they still couldn't get enough votes for Kata and Zach, they'll give it to Kenzie before they give it to KC. Because a lot of people that I heard were voting for KC was saying that they was going to vote for Kenzie to keep Kata and Zach from getting that extra vote. So a lot of those people might have also put Kenzie in there and giving Kenzie an extra boost. So I don't know, but I know that it ain't going to be KC. I can tell you that now. The producers ain't going to let that happen. Let's see. Carl and Anaya. The mom, they look like money. Carl and Anaya. Carl mama and sister look like money. Anaya mama and sister look like money. Casey was never going to fit in there. They all made the right decision. I'm just glad that they got a second chance. And I think that Carl is joking when he brings up him booting her out. But nobody sees that as a bad thing. Because honestly, most men do want a woman that somebody can't talk up out of their bed in 3 days' time. So a thinking man like Carl is not going to see that as a detractor. And he's never held it against her, not in any of his behaviors. I don't believe that he's going to hold that against her. I think he's joking, trying to be funny. But yeah, I think that they're going to be fine. I think they're going to the finals. I think my finals predictions are going to be the same. Oh, and Melanie and Sincere. The reason I keep skipping Melanie and Sincere because I don't care about Melanie and Sincere. And people in my comments keep bringing it up, oh, but you want to flay a black man alive, but make excuses for Sincere. I don't care about Sincere. I don't care about Melanie. I stopped caring about Melanie's tears when she said after the whole Saul thing is that I keep wanting him and I just keep forgiving him and keep forgiving him. She said he's probably going upstairs to kiss Saul right now, and I'm going to have to forgive him for that. She doesn't care about what he does with all these women. She's going to forgive him. Now, she did fool me and make me think that her mama does this as well. Talking about, my mama's not going to be mad. She's going to say, just don't do that again. I think she said that because she was trying to cue her mom and her sister. That's the time I want y'all on when y'all come in here. But they was not, because he done made you look too ridiculous on this TV, and you embarrassing us. I believe that Sincere's daddy, the only reason he came was to let the whole world know that I did not raise this monster. I believe that Sincere's daddy and his mama is not together because she's crazy by her own admission. And I believe that he was raised up with that crazy woman in that crazy environment, and he became a sociopath, which is like how a lot of sociopaths are made. Sociopaths aren't born there that way. They usually become that way because of their environment. And I think that she turned him into a sociopath. That's just my personal opinion based on nothing at all. Okay? And so, but the daddy probably was there for the weekends and the holidays and all that kind of stuff. And so he's close enough to him to check him. But the daddy is not the one that raised him. The little brother came, and the little brother seemed like he's normal. He was saying, dude, you was moving crazy. So I think he brought the little brother to show the world that all my kids ain't like this. And so I think that's the only reason he came, was to let the world know that all his friends that he done been embarrassed in front of. Watch my son on the TV, and your son out there wilding out. And so I haven't cared. I didn't care to lecture Sincere about his behavior. I think he's mentally ill. He's a sociopath, and he's going to do this forever and ever. Except he's going to be smart enough not to get caught. And if he does get caught, Melanie has already told us what she's going to do. She's going to cheat on him back and continue on in a relationship. She's going to get mad. She's going to cuss him out. She's going to put him out the bed for 2 days, or she's going to go somewhere else for 2 days. And in them 2 days while she's gone, she's going to cheat on him and then come back and pick it up like it never happened. That's what's going to happen with her and him. So the only way they're going to break up is if Sincere dumps her. And the way he was looking in the face, by the end, he looked like he was over it all. It's a high probability Sincere might dump Mel when he get out that villa. But he going to crack that first. So let me know if you have any questions or comments below. Have sweet dreams. Wait to find them real. And we'll see what happens tonight. I think tonight is, whenever they have the dinner, that's when they find out who's staying and who's going. One year they went to the fire pit after the dinner. 1 year they read it at the table to see who stays and who goes. But I'm pretty sure Casey's going. They can't leave that as the example of black love. You disrespect a woman, laugh at her crying, then tell her get off your dick and you go to the finals. They cannot represent black love. They just can't. The other one's got 2 restraining orders. And a side note on TT and them restraining orders. That's why the mom and them ain't checking for her, because she said she's never been a girlfriend before. So when you fought this woman, beat her up, and threatened to shoot her over a man, you were just a side chick? That's your side chick behavior? Now this man has made her his girlfriend. What you think she about to do when she's a girlfriend? She gonna take KC out. Because when he told her he was gonna sleep with that other girl in Casa, she pushed him. She pushed him in the chest. TT will put hands on him if he act up. These are the ones who will say, if I can't have you, nobody will have you. We're going to be reading about TT and KC on TMZ. He's going to have to disconnect from her carefully, very carefully. Because now you done made her your actual girlfriend. And she was getting a restraining order put on her as a side chick. You never had a boyfriend before, but you beating somebody up and threatening to murder over him as a side chick? He's in a dangerous position. And I think his mom and his sister know that. Yeah, they was trying to help him and support him and keep it sweet on the TV. And I'm glad that nobody mentioned nothing at all about Casey and Anaya being together. I'm glad that her people didn't mention him, because he's a non-factor, always has been. And I'm glad that they didn't mention Anaya, because she was always a non-factor. He never liked her. I'm glad that they didn't mention it at all. That's appropriate. Anyway, that being said, y'all have sweet dreams. Wait to find them real.